And I was thinking about how my oldest son Eli, who's 4 at the time, was going to react to being an older brother to twins, and thinking about nursery. However, the next day on New Year's Day, all of that changed. All of those things that I've been thinking about kind of flew out the window because my water broke at 26 weeks and 1 day alone, and Walmart, of all places. And so suddenly my world changed. So my husband Chris rushed me down to triage, labor, delivery, from the Erlanger Hospital, and what we found out was that it was in deep water, and they said, you're going to stay there to deliver. And we weren't guaranteed the next minute, the next day, we weren't guaranteed anything as far as time. They just started trying to help prepare us for what may be. So we were trying to be comforted by doctors and nurses. We made a intensive care unit. Nurses would come in and try to help to tell us what the twins may be like and what we would expect having been born right there. It was terrifying. Suddenly our world turned upside down. But we put a goal in mind. We said, all right, 28 weeks. We needed 2 weeks. At that point, survival rate for babies goes up increasingly. So every day we were on hospital bed rest, and we just hoped for an uneventful day. And we prayed that's what it would be. So we were able to get 11 more days out of our pregnancy, and at that point, on January 11th, it became apparent that the twins needed to be born. So they were born via emergency C-section. Zeke was born first at 3:46 in the afternoon. He weighed 2 pounds 4 ounces, and Emmy was born 2 minutes later, and she weighed 2 pounds 2 ounces. So when they were born, just to give you a little bit of perspective of what the room looked like, they both had a full team of respiratory therapists and doctors and these special giraffe beds, as well as I had my own caregivers as well. So when they were born, I didn't get to see them, but we heard them cry, and they sounded like kittens. They were rushed out. Chris tried to snap a few pictures for me so I could take a look at what they looked like, and they were rushed out to receive the life-saving care that they needed in the NICU. That evening, I was able to meet them for the first time around 10:30 at night when Chris rolled me into the NICU, and they were covered in tubes and wires, and they were hooked to ventilators to be able to help to keep them breathing and keep them alive. It was tiny. There's a roller coaster ride that goes with being in the NICU that you never can prepare for, and you can't expect no matter how many people talking about it. A great support system of family in our church, and many of you too were praying alongside of us. While we were in the hospital, Chris and I and our older son Eli were able to move across the street to the Ronald McDonald House. For so many of actually people in this room who were kind of helping pave the way for us in here. So like Karen and her family, we were able to stay in a warm, safe place right across the street from our baby, so we didn't have to go too far. And Eli was able to stay with us again, so we were able to be family. While we were there, we spent day and night at the NICU lab baby sides, and you take control of what you can. I'm a very independent person, for those of you who don't know me. And I kind of like to be in control. But suddenly, everything's taken out of your hands. So we were able to be that close, we were able to go and bathe them and do things like that, just the little things that you take for granted. At 3 weeks of age, I finally got to pay them. It's a long time to wait when you have a baby. But so we went through a whole lot of different experiences while there. They both had multiple blood transfusions. And he had heart surgery when she was 13 days old. Zeke had a collapsed lung and a staph infection. He collapsed twice, once in front of me. We went through a lot while we were there. It was truly an up and down experience, but we learned very quickly to celebrate every success, no matter how short or small-lived it may be, how small or short-lived it may be. So our story is one of success, though. So at 57 days of age, Annie was released, and she was able to come home with us, although Zeke wasn't ready, so she came to the Ronald McDonald House with us and stayed with us. They provided a bassinet and bedding, so we didn't have to worry about anything. And then 13 days later, Zeke was able to come home. So in March of that year, we finally came home as our party of 5, as we like to say. And after that, it's something totally new, trying to learn to care for a micro preemie. At that point, Emmy was born weighing March. She came home weighing 4 pounds even. Zeke was 4'8" when he came home. And so you're suddenly in the NICU. They tell you not to go anywhere. They're so small and frail. However, so you're going every week to doctor's appointments and seeing specialists, and you do your best to keep them healthy. So from that time, Zeke has, they're 8 years old now, and they're in 3rd grade, and which is hard to believe. They're doing very well. Zeke has chronic lung disease, but other than that, they're both doing fantastic, and you learn how to deal as you go. They're small for their age, but they're healthy. And we benefited so much from all these different CFC agencies, and I'll tell you, when I first came to TBA, I was introduced to CFC by my boss at the time, who told me about how his family had benefited personally. And at that point I started giving, but it wasn't until everything happened with the twins that I really learned what CFC is about and what each of your dollars really can do, because it made the difference between us having children that came in with us or not. It helped to fund research for the Welch dimes that made it possible for them to receive surfactant therapy to strengthen their lungs and have equipment here to be able to take care of our children. Children's Hospital, for them to be able to be prepared and have nurses and doctors who know how to care for children like this, and be able to have therapy so specific that it will close a valve on the heart. It's incredible. We're always going to be able to have beds for us and things like that, and all our earlier mission services that we receive through Assistant Children's Hospital. So on behalf of my family, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done, what you continue to do. Thank you for serving the community.